This is John Young, Assistant Superintendent here at Lincoln Parish Schools, and this is the 2022-23 Substitute Handbook Review. It starts with the table of contents. It next has our district address, our website, and our equal opportunity employment statement. It also contains a message from our Superintendent of Schools, Ricky Durrett. Next are our central office contacts. And these are people that you would call if you have questions about anything related to any of these offices. Superintendent Ricky Durrett, Assistant Superintendent John Young, HR Director Dr. Doris Lewis, Human Resources Coordinator Julie Stevenson, CFO Juanita Duke, Payroll Gina Thomas, Chief Academic Officer Dana Talley, Special Education Supervisor Justin Barron, Technology Coordinator is Daryl Savage, and the Insurance Specialist is Christine Hanna. It also has the district vision and mission statement. And next are standards of performance for you as a Lincoln Parish School substitute teacher. Attitude. At the Lincoln Parish School System, we pride ourselves in always doing the following: treat everyone as if he or she is the most important person in our facility, promptly welcome students and staff in a friendly manner, smile, make eye contact, and introduce ourselves. Our body language, tone, and demeanor should always reflect a positive attitude. We take the initiative to offer assistance to students. We won't wait to be asked. We listen carefully to what students have to say. Rudeness is not acceptable. We speak positively and offer compliments frequently. We apologize for problems and inconveniences. We avoid placing the blame or making excuses. We thank families for choosing our schools. We know that students and parents are not an interruption of our work, but they are the reason for us being there. And then we continue to be happy. Appearance. Each employee's appearance represents our school. Therefore, each employee's grooming and dress will be professional and appropriate. We at the Lincoln Parish School Board take pride in our facilities, and we strive to maintain a safe, uncluttered, and litter-free workplace. Your attire will be professional, tidy, discreet, tasteful, and appropriate. Your attire and body language are all a part of your appearance. Dress code policies will be followed, and good personal hygiene will always be maintained. Confidentiality. We do not discuss our students' performance with others. Communicate with students and parents in a private manner after receiving permission from your principal. Eliminate gossip in order to respect coworkers. Others often can hear this unprofessional discussion. Remember that confidentiality extends into the community. Do not discuss students outside the school. Next is a listing of all of our schools. It has the principal's name there, along with their email address, if you would like to contact them via email, but also an office phone number as well. Next is the application process for becoming a substitute teacher. And remember, the Jobs tab on the Lincoln Parish Schools website is the place to do that. Also, there's a complete listing of crimes for no hire. And remember, those convicted of these crimes need not apply as a substitute in Lincoln Parish. Next are substitute pay rates. Substitute teacher with less than a 4-year degree, half day is $37.50, full day $75. Substitute teacher with a 4-year degree or standard teacher certification, $42.50 for a half day, and then $85 for a full day. And if you've been chosen as a static substitute on your campus, that pay is $110 per day. Next are things to do to report to a teaching assignment and procedures that you should follow upon your arrival at your classroom or designated area. There are also procedures that you should follow at the end of the day. And next are some items that are important regarding what you need approval from the office for. So please make sure you read these. And also, we have some daily classroom management responsibilities that you should read and be mindful of as well. Remember, any accidents or injuries that happen to students or yourself should be reported to the office or principal immediately. And also, an accident report form must be completed for any accident that occurs on any campus here at Lincoln Parish. Next is professional conduct. First, maintain a professional attitude towards your work. A friendly, cheerful, and cooperative attitude toward both the building personnel and students will help you start the day right and keep it running smoothly. Keep your voice clear, well modulated, and use correct grammar. Your attitude will have a great deal to do with your acceptance by the faculty and students. You must be especially careful about the following: do not criticize the employee for whom you substitute. Do not find fault with the schools where you work, and never make uncomplimentary comparisons between schools. Do not discuss grades or other confidential information unless you are seeking professional assistance from the principal or designee. Be discreet. Refrain from discrimination on the basis of race, sex, religion, or disability. Refrain from making statements and or actions that can be misconstrued as harassment, sexual harassment, and or bullying. Refrain from cell phone usage to include text messaging, photography, and social networking. An email will be sent to you requesting that you complete any mandatory training sessions which are not included in this handbook, and that will be done through Vector Solutions or Safe Schools, which is our training platform. Student confidentiality. Student parental rights protect students' privacy. All student information shall remain confidential and shall not be shared or discussed. Pictures, names, profiles, etc., shall not be shared with media, personal social media, or others without written consent from school and parents. Substitute discipline. You will be made inactive in our frontline system, and you must meet with the human resources director or designee if any of the following occur. You sign up for a sub job for two or more times, and you cancel less than 24 hours before the assignment begins, or you fail to notify the school that you will not be there. A school reports a concern while you're performing your duties as a substitute, or there's an allegation of physical confrontation with a student and or adult. And there's also a policy there for substitute dismissal. And also a statement about corporal punishment. Remember, corporal punishment is not allowed here at Lincoln Parish Schools, and you should never use corporal punishment in any way to touch a child or to correct their behavior. If you have a problem as far as a discipline issue, you want to make sure you contact the appropriate administrator, whether that be the principal, assistant principal, or coordinating teacher on your campus. There's a statement about the use of telephones and other electronic communication devices as well. Remember, students are not allowed to use cell phones on campus, and you want to be mindful of your policy that dictates what you can and cannot do with your cell phone while on its school campus. Child abuse mandatory reporter. Remember, any suspected child abuse or neglect that comes to you via student, you need to report that. There are three ways that you report suspected child abuse in the state of Louisiana, and one of those ways is by calling the designated DCFS hotline. You can make an online report, or you can go to the office in person. And also remember, if the abuse is egregious enough, you can also do a report to local law enforcement if the case of suspected child abuse and neglect is egregious. Use of social media. The Lincoln Parish School Board recognizes the importance of incorporating current technology tools, including new methods of electronic communication, into the classroom to enhance student learning. It further recognizes the importance of employees, students, and parents engaging, learning, collaborating, and sharing in digital environments. The school board strives to ensure that electronic communication tools incorporated into the school curriculum are used responsibly and safely. As practicable, the school board shall provide access to secure social media tools and approved technologies for use during instructional time for school activities in accordance with policies EFA, Technology and Internet Use, and IFBGA, Computer Access and Use Students. The Lincoln Parish School Board acknowledges that employees or volunteers may engage in the use of social media during their personal time. Employees or volunteers who use social media for personal purposes must be mindful that they are responsible for their public conduct even when not acting in their capacities as school district employees. All employees, including student teachers and independent contractors, shall comply with the requirements of this policy when using electronic social media for personal purposes. Social media communications involving students. Employees and volunteers shall maintain a professional relationship with students at all times in accordance with policies GAMIA, electronic communications between employees and students, and GBRA, employee conduct. All electronic communication with students who are currently enrolled in the school district must be school related and within the scope of the employee's professional responsibilities, unless otherwise authorized by this policy. School personnel using school board controlled technology resources and social media tools to communicate directly with students or to comment on student matters through the use of the internet shall abide by all policies governing such activities. Employees shall be prohibited from knowingly communicating with current students through a social networking page. Remember, anytime that you're using social media to contact the student, that student must have a familiar relationship with you, the employee. Miscellaneous conditions of employment, inspections and searches. It shall be the policy of the Lincoln Parish School Board to reserve the right to inspect any school board owned property, including without limitations computers, desks, lockers, and similar furnishings at any time, with or without notice, and that personal property an employee may bring onto school board premises may be subject to inspection, including searches in connection with the school board's investigation of stolen property, hazardous materials, controlled substances, or the health and safety of employees and students. Next are some dress code guidelines for faculty and staff. And remember, all of our school campuses and buses are alcohol and drug free workplaces. Employee tobacco use. The Lincoln Parish School Board shall provide a tobacco free school environment. The use of any tobacco product, smokeless, or any smoking object or device, including but not limited to electronic cigarettes, advanced personal vaporizers, vape pens, vape mods, and similar devices, shall be prohibited on and in all Lincoln Parish School Board property and vehicles, and at all school sponsored or school approved functions. Employee conduct. Employees and all others shall be expected to observe at least the following standards of conduct: be courteous to students, one another, and the public, and to conduct themselves in a professional and ethical manner. Recognize and respect the rights and property of students, other employees, and the public. Maintain confidentiality of all matters relating to students and other employees. Demonstrate dependable attendance and punctuality with regard to assigned activities and work schedules. Observe and adhere to all terms of an employee's contract or job description. Strive to keep current and knowledgeable about the employee's area of responsibility. Refrain from promoting personal attitudes and opinions for matters other than general discussion. Refrain from using undue influence to gain or attempt to gain promotion, leave, favorable assignments, or other individual benefit or advantage. And you must advocate positive personal behavior on or off campus and attempt to avoid improprieties or the appearance of improprieties. And remember, there is a statement on prohibited sexual conduct. And remember, as an educator or a substitute teacher, you need to make sure that you report any sexual conduct that you know has occurred between another educator and student. And remember, you're bound by law to report that to your state or local law enforcement agency. And there's a statement here about student and school safety as mandatory reporter with some reiterations of that. And also remember, you must report any potential threat or threat of violence or terrorism as required by law immediately to local law enforcement. And it gives specific guidelines on how to report that. Sexual harassment. It is the policy of the Lincoln Parish School Board to provide an employment environment that is free from unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct or communication deemed to constitute sexual harassment under federal and state laws, regulations, and guidelines. The Lincoln Parish School Board shall not tolerate sexual harassment by any student, employee, or non-employee volunteer or school board member toward any individual. Definition: harassment on the basis of sex is defined as any unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or the verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature when submission to such conduct is made either explicitly or implicitly a term or condition of an individual's employment. Submission to or rejection of such conduct by an individual is used as a basis for employment decisions affecting the individual, or such conduct has the purpose or effect of unreasonably interfering with an individual's work performance or creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive working environment. Inappropriate conduct which may constitute sexual harassment may include, but is not limited to, verbal harassment such as derogatory comments, jokes, slurs or remarks or questions of a sexual nature, physical harassment such as unnecessary or offensive touching, and visual harassment such as derogatory or offensive posters, cards, cartoons, graffiti, drawings, looks, or gestures. Harassment may depend not only upon the perpetrator's intention, but also upon how the person who is the target perceives the behavior or is affected by it. Any person who believes he or she has been a victim of sexual harassment by an employee or non-employee volunteer of the Lincoln Parish School Board, or any person with knowledge or belief of conduct which may constitute sexual harassment, should report the alleged acts immediately to the employee's immediate supervisor, who in turn shall submit it to the superintendent or his or her designee. If the alleged acts were committed by the employee's immediate supervisor, the complaint should be directed to the superintendent or his or her designee. If criminal activity is involved, the victim should also report the incident to local law enforcement. The person to whom the complaint is given shall promptly prepare a written report and forward it to the superintendent or his or her designee. And next are some statements regarding investigation and recommendation. And remember, sexual harassment on the basis of sex is a violation of state and federal law. The district will not tolerate any sexual harassment on the part of any employee towards a student or fellow staff member. Harassment does not only depend upon the perpetrator's intention, but also upon how the person who's the target perceives the behavior or is affected by it. There are some specific examples of sexual harassment listed here. Some are verbal and some are nonverbal. There are also physical examples of sexual harassment as well. While these actions in and of themselves are not always considered sexual harassment, if these actions are unwelcome, as determined by the recipient, that is a key test as to whether a given behavior constitutes sexual harassment. Any complaint about sexual harassment shall be immediately reported to the Title IX coordinator, and then the Title IX coordinator is myself, John Young, Assistant Superintendent, Lincoln Parish School Board, 410 South Farmville Street, Ruston, Louisiana, 71270. And my phone number there is 255-1430. There's also the calendar for the 2022-23 school year. Not many changes from 2021-22. We are going to be closed on Tuesday, November 8th for Election Day. Many of our school sites serve as polling locations here in Lincoln Parish. This is the schedule of when the payroll periods end and also payroll deposit dates. Also, if you're having any issues with Frontline, you need to contact Daryl Savage, daryl.savage@lincolnschools.org, and his phone number is there, and his extension is 217, or you can contact Julie Stevenson. Her email address is julie.stevenson@lincolnschools.org. Same phone number, and her extension is 225. And here's just some general information about Frontline and what to do if you've forgotten your login or PIN. Also, it gives some steps that you can take to show how to navigate the Frontline app or website. And last is the Lincoln Parish Schools job description for a substitute teacher. It provides the essential duties and responsibilities as well. Thank you for your time. Please review this substitute handbook. It is available to you in your Vector Solutions platform and also here at Central Office, and there will be a link on our website to this particular document. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.